everybody, it's MK and I am back with another Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, round 10. This is the beautiful sketch by Cheryl Ashcraft that we will be creating today. I'm also combining it with another color craze combination, and this is the color combination that I will be working with today. I love this color combination. I was super excited to get it done. So I have just a single photo, just like Cheryl did. And I also picked out a remnant of some rice paper, which is very close to mulberry paper, but it doesn't have the flakes in it. And then I have a few bits and pieces that I will be playing with, some wood veneer from Some Assemblage Required. I have a Scrapping Reflections stencil in brick that I absolutely love. And then I have this beautiful patinaed background that was from Craft Consortium. It was gifted to me by a subscriber. And then I have this beautiful background that I have, or not background, cardstock that I'm going to turn into a beautiful background. Now I have some chameleon wax in cacti, and then I have this beautiful Nouveau Glacier paste. I have to look for the name because I already put it away. I'm so bad. So it is called Bronze Metal. Yes, it is beautiful, you guys. Absolutely beautiful. And then I have a few Minte paints. Now, I haven't used these live on camera before, but I actually purchased these to paint my wood pieces for my home decor. So I pulled out rust for this one, and then I kind of Vanna White all of them in case you need to see the lid 3 different times. But I also have turquoise. And then the very last one, because I wasn't sure exactly which one would go really well or if I had to mix them, but this one is aqua. Now, aqua came from their very first release, and then rust and, I have ground espresso ink pad as well, and then, of course, my palette knife, and then I'm going to use a blender for the ink. So I'm going to have to waste a couple sponges because once you use ink on them, you can't waste them. But anyways, Minte came out with a first set of inks and then a second set, and it seems like they perfected the second set's formula a lot better because their very first set is very, very runny, very, very liquidy, and then the rest of them are more like actual chalk paint like they're supposed to be, which is on the thicker side of just regular acrylic paint. I do love how they dry and all that good stuff. So I went ahead and did all this in some super speed mode. So I went ahead and put the glacier paste through my stencil around the area of the photo that I thought, but then my photo cluster gets a little bit on the large side. So I went to my Cricut, and in the rust corner of my patinaed paper, I cut out this pipe frame that I created, and then I also wanted to use this this teal color of my paper so that way I had 2 tones, but my pipes did not cut all the way, so I went ahead and I just ripped them and then inked up all the edges, and you can't even tell that they didn't come out the way that they were supposed to. I love grungy stuff because of this, you guys. Then I went ahead and just ripped up my paper in so I could just get the colors that I wanted, so that way it could go behind my photo. And I basically triple matted my photo using that frame as a mat, or that corner piece. So here's where I am mixing up one of the colors. Now it kind of looks really weird, but it does take quite a while. And I don't show you the aqua because, like I said, it was from the first collection and it's not as rich as the turquoise was. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Now it dries definitely paler because it is chalk than it does when it first goes on. Because when it first goes on, I'm like, ooh, I like this color. And then it dries and it's a little bit too bluey for me. It's still a really good color. But what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I am going across the page as opposed to making swirls. And this is where I cut out where I swirled up the aqua because it was so liquidy, you guys. It took forever, and it's so liquidy to the point where like I got way too much on my sponge as well. And then I went ahead and showed you guys how to mix up the aqua or the rust as well because it was just the same as the turquoise. But anyways, I'm going back and forth, but I also picked up my ink that I used to put on the on my frame or on my pipework. And and it darkened up my blue just a little bit as well. So here I'm just going through and blotching on, making sure to keep the strokes linear instead of circular, and getting it to where I just create the background that I want. Well, unfortunately, my photo mat is too big, and I pretty much covered up and took out the sparkle of all my bricks. And so I'm going to go ahead and just bring in some brown, darken up those colors just a little bit, because like I said, when they dry a little bit brighter than they were supposed to. But I love these Mintay colors, you guys. I love painting with them and putting them on my wood pieces, because then they're not sparkly shiny, and they've got that dull tone, chalk tone is better. So I'm taking the chameleon wax and going over all of the high spots on my brick. I don't know why I did this, because once I brought everything back together, there wasn't enough space. Truth be told, my bricks were gone. So I'm going to go back over my bricks with my Nuvo Glacier Paste yet again. And this time I'm not going to mix media it. And I want it to go across, on all the way to the edge. Well, because this stencil, like all machines, you can't cut a full 12 by 12. Plus, it definitely would have been weak around the edges if Sandy did not leave a frame in there. So I don't go all the way to the top, and I don't go all the way to the bottom. I just make sure that I add a little bit here and a little bit there. I'm not looking for full coverage, and I'm not looking for perfection. I am just looking for broken bricks. That's what I'm looking for. And I love the way that this looks now. And I love the fact that I can see my old bricks in the background, and be able to see, like it looks like they created a shadow. So like there's more bricks to keep going. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and patina some of these gears. Now, these gears were not put in the store, because this is when I was testing new material and whatnot. And so these ones looked a little too burnt for me. I wasn't too impressed with them. And they're on the thinner side. So some of my pieces were just too delicate. Things like that. And so I decided to go ahead and keep the pieces, because I'm okay with working with broken pieces. I just can't sell broken pieces. So what I'm doing is I am making sure that they all look like rusty old gears, basically. The chains and the hinges, I actually put chameleon wax on them, so that way they looked like, rusted chains rather than blue oxide gears. So here is a close-up of my background before I start adding a bunch of stuff to it. I love this background, you guys. And I have to tell you guys that it looks good in person and it looks good here on camera. But when I was showing my friend it in, like on FaceTime, it did not look, I couldn't get the shine. I couldn't get it to be like, wow, it just looked okay. So anyways, had to go to my stash and pull out a label, because on the sketch, there is a big journaling spot. Well, mine's not going to be that big. I don't have that much to say about this particular photo. This is just the Territorial Enterprise was the newspaper from Virginia City. Now, I have to say Virginia City, Nevada. I'm sorry. So the Territorial Enterprise actually started with just the Enterprise, and it started in Genoa, Nevada. Sorry, I've got to get my words right. There's no V in there. It's Genoa, Nevada. And then it was purchased a couple years later and moved to Virginia City, right at the same time where Virginia City was just booming. And I mean, this enterprise took off. It's been open for 95 years. It is still open today. But today, the actual building is a Mark Twain museum, because this is where Mark Twain became Mark Twain. He was known as Samuel Clemens in this newspaper, and he picked up the pen name Mark Twain right here in this very building. And so it became the Mark Twain Museum. And the current owner of this newspaper actually does all the newspapers online now, and it went from daily to now, I'm not sure if it's weekly or monthly. I'm not really sure. I knew that a minute ago, but then, of course, now I can't look it back up to actually see that. But I absolutely love all the history. And when you walk through Virginia City, instead of just walking through and being in a hurry, all the buildings, every single one of them have a plaque like this on it, and it is history in the walking. Seriously, you walk around, you read the plaques, and you just feel like you walk through history. It is awesome. Now, some of the buildings, it's a gimmick, don't go in, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Some of that is just total BS. There's one building in there that says that you can go underground straight through the back of this bar. And truth be told, it's a painting on a wall. And it gives you that aura and that feel that you're underground, but it's not real. It's not like going to the Comstock and actually going 100 feet underground and being where the miners used to be type of deal. But yeah, it's just different, you guys. Like I said, some of it's a gimmick, some of it's just for show, but the plaques aren't. The plaques are the story. The plaques are what you need to look for. And they're everywhere if you look for them, if you take the time to walk through Virginia City and actually read everything. So anyways, I just basically beefed up my pipes by adding not real, but wood veneer on there. I added my hinges in there, got some chains that I created a while ago to go with the wood chains because I just felt like they needed a little something. And that's it, you guys. Pretty simple. I really wanted my background to just shine and sparkle, and I love how everything matches. I love how you almost have to look for it type of deal. I love these types of layouts. I did add some journaling in there off camera because it was a canvas sticker. I did have to work a little bit at the whole journaling spot. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Be sure to check out the playlist for Christy's Beautiful Life, round 10. Also, too, she has a Facebook group that is just all the playlists, you guys. If you go into the album section, you can see all 10 rounds, plus last month, 2 months ago, which was the best of. And then, of course, join Janet on her channel to check out how she played along with this color combination for Color Craze. And that, I believe, is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so very much. I really, truly appreciate you guys just stopping by and hanging out with me for a few minutes every day. I appreciate, almost every day. I really, truly appreciate it. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.